Out of the White House and what they're saying tonight after President Trump last night suggested the U.S. would take over Gaza and that some 2 million Palestinians should leave. He said we should find them a nice piece of land and build them some really nice places. Well, questions tonight: will there be American boots on the ground as part of this plan? How much would it cost? And will the Palestinians ever be allowed to return? Tonight, the White House appears to be dialing much of this back. The president said today everyone loves it. Here's our chief White House correspondent, Mary Bruce.
Tonight, 24 hours after President Trump declared the U.S. will take over Gaza and that the Palestinian people would be permanently moved to other countries to a, quote, beautiful area with nice homes, the White House today struggling to explain how the plan would work.
Can we ask about your Gaza proposal? A lot of people are talking about, obviously. Everybody loves it.
But today, international outrage after the president announced the United States would seize control of war-torn Gaza.
The U.S. will take over the Gaza Strip, and we will do a job with it, too. We'll own it and be responsible for dismantling all of the dangerous unexploded bombs and other weapons on the site, level the site, and get rid of the destroyed buildings.
The former real estate developer describing the potential opportunities.
I don't want to be cute. I don't want to be a wise guy, but the Riviera of the Middle East.
Trump says the nearly 2 million Palestinians should permanently relocate to Egypt and Jordan, though both countries reject that notion. And today, Palestinian residents like Tala Herzala anguished at the thought of being forced from her home.
You wake up on a slap on your face after knowing the solution of the President of the United States to us. Just leave your homeland, leave your country for us, to rebuild it in a way that we see is good for us, not for you.
The condemnation in the region swift, including from Saudi Arabia. The Trump administration is hoping the Saudis will normalize ties with Israel. Today, the Saudis saying that won't happen without a Palestinian state, that their position is firm and unwavering. Now, Trump administration officials seeming to dial back some of the president's language. Secretary of State Marco Rubio acknowledging the plan is real, but implying Palestinians would be able to return.
So what he's very generously has offered is the ability of the United States to go in and help with debris removal, help with munitions removal, help with reconstruction, the rebuilding of homes and businesses and things of this nature, so that then people can move back in.
We've seen the pictures, hundreds of thousands of Palestinians determined to get back to their homes in Gaza. But today, White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt insisting.
This is an uninhabitable place for human beings. Do you really think that families can live their dream in a region that looks like this, with no running water, no electricity?
But 24 hours after Trump said America would take over the Gaza Strip and own it, today Leavitt adamant the U.S. would not pay to rebuild Gaza. I pressed her on whether Trump would send American troops.
The president last night said he's willing to use the military if necessary. Is the U.S. prepared to remove Palestinians from Gaza by force?
The president is prepared to rebuild Gaza for Palestinians and all people in the region, peace-loving people who want real economic development and opportunity in the region.
But should the American people be prepared to see U.S. military on the ground fighting a ground war against Hamas?
Again, the president has not committed to U.S. troops in the region.
The president said his intention was to remove Palestinians from Gaza permanently.
If we can get a beautiful area to resettle people permanently.
But today, the press secretary said it would be temporary.
The president has made it clear that they need to be temporarily relocated out of Gaza for the rebuilding of this effort.
And David, the White House today was also pressed on the president's decades of criticism of U.S. entanglements in conflicts abroad, going back to George W. Bush's involvement in Iraq. But the White House said this plan would not entangle the U.S. in the Middle East, despite the president saying the U.S. would, quote, own Gaza and be responsible for dismantling all of the unexploded bombs and weapons there. David.
Mary Bruce at the White House again tonight. Thank you, Mary.